Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. For anyone who's ever attended a protest in your life, you'll probably be able to agree with my words more so than someone who has not. But if you've ever been a part of a protest and then watched how that protest was portrayed in the mainstream media, you've probably seen how the protest was diminished, how the people who were there were made to seem not credible or not important. Oftentimes, the numbers in protests are reported as less than what they really were. The reason why is because for all of our lives, we Americans have been told to stand down and be obedient to authority. We're not supposed to have a voice. The right to protest is protected in the Constitution, but the mainstream programming has made it so that most people would never participate in a protest in their life. They see it as a bad thing, a negative thing, something that bad people do. And here, in the Baltimore protest, the media has started putting out stories that support this. Yesterday, there was the story released of the mother who beat her son across the face and cussed him out in the middle of the street. The story is an obvious hoax. Anyone with a brain would be able to go, well, how would that mom be able to identify the man all dressed in black with his face all covered up as her son? Some people might say motherly instinct, she recognized his body frame, but yeah, right. Imagine a group of people all dressed in black, and you had to pick the one person you were looking for when their face is all covered up and everybody's dressed the same. That would be no easy task. And notice how the mainstream media was right there to cover it, capture it, interview her, get her story out. Every news anchor from Whoopi Goldberg to Anderson Cooper got to chime in about how awesome she was. The phrase was used, Mother of the Year, which has a gematria that ties in with this story. Mother of the Year sums to 84, like United States of America, like Vietnam. In this story that we're going to look at, we have a Vietnam veteran, possibly someone just in costume, standing in the street. Oh, let's just watch it.
Okay, go ahead. Let me see it. Anderson, sir, who are you?
Sir, who are you? First of all, he doesn't need to ask that question because he knows who this is. This is an actor. They probably just talked. They probably went over their lines. These people are pathetic. Think about what a black American is who sells out other black people. I can't think of anything lower. Disgusting.
And you sort of took it upon yourself to tell those young people to go away. Well, when you're a little bit concerned about your own safety, I mean, there's a lot of bottles and rocks and things.
I did 30 years. Okay, came out of Nassau. I've seen more than all this. I've been through the virus already. This right here is not relevant. They need to have.
You know how this dude's so chilled out? He's saying how he's been through 30 years, he's been through all this important stuff, but this isn't important. I mean, a black American who's had to live in this country for 72 years and put up with the injustice should have some spark behind their voice, should understand what this protest is about. But what's this guy holding in his hand? A bottle of water, all full of fluoride. The fluoridated, zoned out zombie Americans. Remember, Monday, they decreased fluoride levels for the first time in our nation's history since they put it in the water after World War II. All right, let's continue.
Have their butts at home. They need to be in their home units with their family studying and doing something with their.
They need to be at home. Their butts need to be at home. They need to be doing something productive. I mean, True Seeker, what is needed more in this world right now than to overthrow the government, the media, that treats us like sheep, pawns, machines on a daily basis? There's nothing more worthy in this world. Nobody needs to go to school because you know what's happening at school? People are getting socialized, not educated. They're being programmed so that they can be used for their labor and their ability to generate taxes. We don't have an education system. We have a socialization system. It doesn't teach you how to be intelligent or understand your world. It gives you meaningless skills and teaches you how to conform to nonsense.
Not out here protesting about something that's not really about nothing. They do not respect this young man's death. you know. Now, mama and daddy didn't lost a child. That could be them. So I'm very pissed.
So what's your name?
Valentine.
Your first name?
Robert.
Robert Valentine.
Good thing he remembered his actor name, Robert Valentine. The name Robert sums to 33. The name Valentine sums to 39. Put it together, it sums to 72. This man's said to be 72 years old.
And you're a Vietnam vet.
Yes.
And you just decided to come out here and stand up against these guys.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people would think twice, wouldn't they?
I love my country.
This guy loves his country. Why? Because he's getting paid big dollars to be a liar and instigator. Look at him. The media is trying to make him sound like he's some proud, brave military veteran. Look at where he's standing, in an open space in front of the police. Why isn't he over with the crowd that he's telling to go home? Why is he over here standing by the police? Mr. Big Brave Man who's been through some things.
I love my charm city, and I'm an American. I'm not black, white, red, or yellow, nothing. I am American.
Are you concerned about what's happening to the community?
Yes.
Yes, he is. He is so concerned. His message is the same as Ray Lewis's message. Get off the streets, go home. Think about what Ray Lewis is. An athlete. Someone on the television screen. Someone who is a liar, dishonest. I guarantee you he's one of the professional athletes that's in on the big hoax. He knows what's up. He knows that the games are scripted. He's one of the biggest fakers out there. And look at his message. Get off the streets, go home and be back to being a spectator. Because that's what you are, America. An audience. Spectators. Your voice is worthless. Your life has no purpose other than how much tax revenue you can make for your government. That Robert Valentine's so proud of, that he loves so much. I mean, look at this guy. They have him dressed up in Vietnam gear. What was Vietnam? He's saying the youth out there are part of something that has no meaning, no worth. What was the worth of the Vietnam War? The only worth that the Vietnam War had was for the people who made money off it. The weapons contractors, the military industrial complex. The same people who are arming the police behind him. The same reason we have more police than teachers. He's telling people to go home and study. He should be telling people to wake up and engage. With regards to Vietnam Truth Seeker, it has that coded number 84. Vietnam equals 84 in simple English gematria, like United States of America in Pythagorean gematria. Right now, the 44th president, Barack Hussein Obama, the name Obama equals 84 in Jewish gematria. His birthday is 8/4, August 4th. In the book 1984 by George Orwell, the book begins on the date of April 4th, 4/4. You see how coded this crap is? Martin Luther King Jr. was once assassinated 4/4, April 4th. While they had this footage up here of Robert Valentine, they had the word coward on the screen. Officials, we won't let cowards ruin Baltimore. What is the definition of coward? A person who lacks the courage to do or endure dangerous, unpleasant things? Excessively afraid of danger or pain? Well, no matter what you say about the protesters, they're definitely not cowards. When I hear the word coward truth seeker, what it honestly makes me think of is it makes me think of America. It makes me think of the population of America, a nation of cowards, a nation of people who won't stick their neck out, who won't speak, who will remain silent. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, the worst thing you can do is be silent. Now what's this guy, Robert Valentine, out here doing? He's telling people to go home and be silent. Martin Luther King Jr. said the worst thing you can do is be silent. And it was 1968, excuse me, it was April 4th, 1967. Now more than 48 years ago, that he spelled out what would happen in this nation if we didn't turn around the military-industrial complex. We'd be a nation without opportunity and a nation enslaved to evil, which is exactly what we are. And the mainstream masses don't see it because they're so caught up in the propaganda, the bullshit that's been crammed down their throat their whole lives. Just like it was crammed down my throat. Truth Seeker, when I was a little kid, I wouldn't do the Pledge of Allegiance because I didn't know what the words in it meant, and it sounded weird, and it just seemed weird. You know, it just seemed weird. Putting my hand on my heart, looking at a piece of cloth on the wall, saying some stuff that I don't even really think is true. I used to go to the principal's office for not participating in the pledge. You know when the Star-Spangled Banner became official, Truth Seeker? March 3rd, 3-3 in the year 31. What are the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry? 31 to 33. March 3rd. Think about this date in our nation's history. The date of the Rodney King beating. The date Trayvon Martin was buried. A lot like the number 33 that gets coded into all these hoaxes, including this guy's name, Robert. Robert, the 33 name. Valentine, the 39 name. In this thing called the Star-Spangled Banner, isn't that word spangled so funny, Truth Seeker? You know why we have it? Because it's a 33 word. And this is a 33 nation. The date of establishment for the flag is June 14th, 1777. A date with 33 numerology. Almost everything about this nation is coded with these same numbers over and over. Why? Because we're a Freemason creation. Star-Spangled Banner. There's the flag establishment date. Star-Spangled Banner is based on the poem The Defense of Fort McHenry. Defense is spelled with C, the British way. Another 33 word. Just so much coding, Truth Seeker. Non-stop. And again, we said this to ourselves over and over as kids. We thought we were the land of the free, home of the brave. The truth is we are neither. We've never been free, we're enslaved. Think about it. We're in school being told that we have to put our hand on our heart and pledge to this flag and say these words we don't mean, or there's consequences. Does that sound like free? And the pledge that you have to say, you're supposed to tell yourself you're free. And then if you take a stand against it, you're a bad person. And you get sent down to deal with the authority. You're not brave for taking a stand. In fact, the media will say you're a coward. You see how we live in backwards land? You know? They got to find this black guy to come out here and sell out his people, lie to the nation. I know these people exist. I mean, they're all over talk radio. Turn on black talk radio. Almost all the talkers are selling their people out, making the hoaxes seem more and more real. I mean, anybody with eyes can see that none of this shit makes sense. Freddie Gray got dragged off. Supposedly they severed 80% of his spine. How the hell does that happen? Was the predator in the back of the car? You know? Then just before this, we got the Walter Gray shooting. We watched a police officer unload his clip from 20 feet behind the man. Who knows how he got inside this little park area? We see him unload the clip. The man just keeps running. Nothing happens. Then all of a sudden he falls down when it doesn't even make sense. The media shows you all this footage. There's no blood. He's moving his head around. He's looking around. And they tell you he was killed. The stories don't make any sense. The only way they work is because people have been so socialized to trust their media with all their heart and to denounce everyone who stands against it, people like me. You know, Truth Seeker, I've been speaking out since September 11th, 2001, like it's my mission. But even before that, I saw so many things that were wrong with this nation. I knew the media was already garbage. I remember turning on the nightly news in high school and I would just laugh. I'd say, all they want to do is scare everybody. Why does anyone watch this? You know why? Because that's what keeps people in their home. Just like this guy's message, just like Ray Lewis's message, get off the streets. The message is stay home, shut the fuck up, your life has no worth, pay your taxes. Maybe you can find a pretty girl, a handsome husband, have some nice children, and raise them up to be quiet slaves as well. Don't worry about what's happening anywhere else in the world. Just focus on yourself. Ignore everything else. Ignore all the injustices. Ignore the squeezing that's happening to you. You know? I saw this coming in 2001 as an 18-year-old. I just turned 18 when 9/11 happened. I barely got to be an adult. And, you know, since then I've known I need to get out of this country. If you stay in this country, all that's going to happen to you is something bad, because this country's on a very bad path. Undeniable. And look at us now, 14 years later. I'm honestly surprised it's not worse yet, but it's getting worse. The worst is coming. All right, Truth Seeker, just wanted to call out this little clip here. There's one more thing I want to show before we go away. Look at this. Look at what a joke this is. Look at these videos for Robert Valentine. So this just happened yesterday, one day ago. This video has almost 200,000 views. This video has more than 300,000 views. This video has over 40,000 views. This video has over 20,000 views. Look at that. How is that possible? Yours truly, my most watched video to date, and it's been up for months now. However, it got most of the views in the first couple weeks it was up. But my most viewed video to date has over 17,000 views. It's the only video of mine that I would say has even been successful. Look at all the unlikes it has. Those are all the disinformation agents. I guarantee you no normal person watched this and disliked this video. My point is, True Seeker, I'm putting out really good videos, really important content, information you can't find anywhere else in the world besides my subscribers who've learned these skills and applied them and are now making videos. Thank you, Josh Stoss. Thank you, Stinky Cash. Thank you, Symbol Seeker. Thank you, Just Looking. Thank you, all the other people who are making videos and getting out the message. Sorry for all the people I forgot to name. I know there's a lot of awesome subscribers and people trying to get out the truth too, but none of us are getting the views we deserve. And the other point I want to make on this is that I think my views are often diminished, and I think views like what we just saw with this story about Robert Valentine, I think YouTube just bullshits this stuff. Ups the views, ups the likes to make them way more popular. I mean, this video seriously has over 1,300 likes. I want to think this is completely false. Look at this. Susie Person. First of all, person's a 33 word. People, person, society, order, destiny. All those words sum to 33. The Jewish word for a non-Jew is goyim. Also sums to 33. But look at this. Susie Person has no subscribers, but makes videos that get this many likes and views. This is just like all the shills. It shows you how fake the YouTube stats are. And that's also part of the mind control. Because people like my sister's acknowledged that I'm making these videos and not even that many people are watching them. So in her mind, I'm just tarnishing my name and all for naught. Which I don't think is true. But at the same time, I wish my videos did have a lot more exposure, a lot more comments, a lot more people sharing. There's not enough of that. The message I'm putting out is too important to be neglected in the way it is. But I'm going to keep working at it, Truth Seeker. Believe me, I'm not quitting. For all of you who say don't quit, keep it up, don't worry. That's nothing you have to worry about. I've always felt that I was put on this planet to bring about change, you know? I've been a disappointed person with this world for as long as I can remember, you know? It's all been a big letdown. It's all seemed like a giant tragedy. And being the person that I am, I want to make this world better so other people don't have to go through the same thing I go through and we're all going through. Oh, Truth Seeker. This stuff kills me. All right. Until next time.